What's going on, everybody? I appreciate all of you hanging out, waiting on the stream to start. For those of you catching replay, though, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on all notifications when we do these live chats. You can take part right along with us. So in a little while, we'll have my dear friend George Zaharoff joining us. Have a great conversation. We're calling it happy hour. What the hell? We'll do roughly an hour, maybe a little more. We'll see how it goes with the flow of conversation. Talking a little bit of Signature Bloom that just went for pre-sale as of yesterday, which there's a link pinned at the top of the chat if you're interested in going ahead and pre-ordering it. No, I do not have a review out on it yet. The bottles are not filled and ready to ship just yet. That will be very shortly, which George is going to touch on everything in a little bit. As soon as I do get my bottle, though, I'll wear it one time and give you guys a review because I'm very familiar with the lab samples and final renditions and everything. I just want to check out the final production batch, and then we'll go ahead and talk about everything in the video like we always do, you know. And as far as what I'm wearing today, Mangolicious Hippie Storm from Sphinx Fragrances. A little on the feminine side, don't get me wrong, a lot of florals, fresh, fruity, tropical, powerful, good quality. I'm a big fan. My main man, D, my tag team partner, he's a big fan of this one as well. I brought this with me when I went to Dedrick's house. He was a fan of this as well. I think it's a great release for anybody that likes mango and appreciates florals and a fragrance. You'll probably like this. Definitely worth a sample. So let's get caught up with this chat. Like I said, George will join us around the 10-minute mark roughly. Let's see. Sean, what's going on, my man? 1 million privé and wearing Black Rose tonight. We are going to find, I mean, that's up to you and how much you're going to spend with Zaharoff. But we're going to talk about everything Zaharoff that George wants to talk about. Ryan, good to see you, sir, wearing Coach Black. I think you mean Coach for Men, the original. Spirit on XXX for the live stream. There you go. The Bishop with the $5 super chat. Remember to hit the like button after you join, subscribe to the channel, and hit notifications. I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. My main man, Terrence, what's going on? Argos Triumph of Bacchus. Excellent choice. YSL Baby Cat. You're the one to beat. You are the one to beat right now, in my opinion. We got Neil acknowledging Terrence. Everybody does love George Zaharoff. You know, George Zaharoff's a great guy. I got to say. Zerzhoff's Starling. Going to eat dinner with Kesrica. No worries, Neil. Appreciate you coming pop in. Good to see you, Smooth Operator. How are you, sir? Wearing Michelle's new fragrance. Hope you're enjoying it. Aqua de Joe Parfum from Manny. Juan, good to see you, sir. Carnival Barcelona Ibiza Nights. Just got back from vacation wearing Signature Citrine for Dan, not the man. You pick up today, Bond number 9, Chez Bon. It is, I think it's better than Green Irish Tweed, too. Not drastically better, but stop and say hi to everyone. We'll not be able to catch the live stream, but we'll catch the replay later. Scent of the day, December Vanilla. Kind of gives me Combro vibes. Me and the wife were sniffing on this one literally yesterday. It's funny that you mentioned that. It's right here within arm's reach. And I don't know if Dan ever answered me in the chat. Let me scroll up and see before I pick on him a little bit. Let me just make sure. You scroll back in the YouTube chat because I am planning on picking on Dan, not the man, and telling you why Dan's not the man. So hold on one second. Nope, he didn't reply to me. Okay, so I'm going to pick on you, Dan. So that's awesome that you pre-ordered that. So I put, sure hope you use my link. And I knew the answer already because it's an affiliate link. I get emails when there's orders. It doesn't show people's names, but it shows the amount they spent, commission, order number, stuff like that. So that would be like a $400+ order. I have not seen that. I've been saying single bottle stuff for those using the link. So Dan, I thought we were friends. It helps support the channel, and you were going to buy it anyway. I'm just giving you a hard time. I don't care. It's all good. It would have been great. Not the end of the world, though, but I got to bust your balls a little bit and give you a hard time. But your wife is absolutely going to love this. My wife is a raving fan of Signature Bloom. I can tell you right now. And any guys that like white florals and resins and incense is probably going to like this. It's 3 different types of jasmine, some gardenia, a lot of incense, a lot of myrrh. Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. We're going to talk about it more throughout the stream. But Dan, not the man. You are not the man. I had to give you a hard time. Oolong Cha, excellent choice. And Vic Sock 2018, close to my heart. Great fragrance. Mason Alhambra's Tobacco, solid cheapie. Going to listen in while I'm on a run. Well, I appreciate that, Keith. Paul Robertson, hitting the custom Evening Mystique bottles. Good to see you, sir. Do as the Pirate. Orchid Man by Frappin. Good to see you, sir. So I'm skip around a little bit because I know I'm pretty far behind. Wearing Assad. Appreciate that, Kyler. Coach for Men. We got 2 in the chat wearing Coach for Men. Hell yeah. Wearing Coco Loco. Smells great. Wicked Good Perfumes, Coconut and Sandalwood. Frosty weather tomorrow in Atlanta, so be able to rock a darker scent tomorrow. Good to see you, Roy. Wearing Le Male Le Parfum, excellent choice, but had to go with a good dose of Burlington 1819 on my left arm. Can't say I blame you. Clinton, good to see you with Terre de Hermes Parfum. Climatics in the house, good to see you, sir. L'Homme Ideal Cologne, great choice. Red Fever, let's see, can't stay here long. Drop in Issey Miyake Nui Dissy Polaris, never tried that one. You would love it, Ross. Probably. Most Issey Miyake fragrances I would enjoy. If I haven't tried them, based on notes I've seen from different fragrances, I would enjoy most of his work that I haven't tried. So I appreciate the crowd. We got 126 strong currently. Make sure you hit that like button on the way in. George will be joining us here in about 4 minutes. And we'll be talking everything Zaharoff, including the new pre-order that just started yesterday with Signature Bloom. Seraphine Blue's around the corner, his fresh blue fragrance, which I'm also very excited about. It's going to be a great spring and summer back-to-back release for George, I got to say. You know, I was hypercritical of the blue in the testing process. We couldn't have some redundant, can't have nobody saying, oh, this smells just like this when it gets out there. So I was extra critical on the blue fragrance testing part of it, as was others that were involved. Because if you're going to make a blue, the last thing you want is everybody saying it smells like a bunch of other things, which is quite a challenge. Make something that stands on its own as a blue. That is a challenge right there. Claude Deere, man's talented. Once it releases, that and the blue are super intriguing. Indeed, indeed. Ooh, Apex Parfum. I haven't sprayed that in a while, man. That's better than the EDP. The EDP is great. Nigerian Giant Omas, one of his favorite fragrances. But the Parfum is superior. It's pricey. Good to see you, sir. Luna Rosa Sport. Lizzie, good to see you. Wearing Portrayal Woman from Amouage. One of the best houses out there, in my opinion. Renaissance. Great choice. Excellent, excellent choice. Good to see you, sir. Wild Parfum. We got Kitchi K in the house. So I figured more and more of the mafia would show up because we're going to have a mafia type of stream having George on here, as well as I embraced the cannoli a long time ago, many years ago. So I still lurk. I don't comment, but I lurk. I'm watching, Joey. I'm watching. So let's see. Love Tobacco. What a masterpiece it is. Signature Bloom secured. Mr. Clark got his pre-order in. Okay. Is everybody saying hello? The Boz has arrived. Wearing Naxos. The Bane, long time no see. How are you, sir? Please save your thought-provoking question for the latter portion of the stream before you hit me with it. I'm curious to see what you come up with today because it's been a while since we played that game. Signature Bloom yesterday, waiting to get my nose on it. Come April 15th, as far as I was told today. Indeed, shipping on the 15th. No delays or anything. We'll be good to go. All right, so let me skip down a little ways, and we're going to get going. Kix Griffey's in the house. What's going on, my man? BR540, FWO, Wolfpack for life. That's what I'm talking about. Black Rose Colors, but not Black Rose. Lost Opportunity. No worries, no worries. It happens. I've always wanted to try that one. I've heard good things. Taif Oud. Lone Star Vol, good to see you, sir. So we're almost to the 10-minute mark where George will be popping in backstage, and we'll bring him on once it gets here. Steve, good to see you, sir. Was doing some sampling of Perseus Narcotic Delight Y Elixir Legend Blue. So a bunch of the new stuff. The Initio is my favorite. Unfortunately, disappointed by Perseus. I still haven't tried it yet. I have a decant coming. We are on Monday. We'll be doing a live stream. Me, Dedrick, and Randy on here. We did a decant swap. I'm sending their decants out tomorrow. Randy sent out decants yesterday. 5 each. I'm sending 5 to Dedrick and 5 to Randy, the same 5. Dedrick sending 5 to me, 5 to Randy, same, and so on. And we're going to check them out together. And Perseus is one of the ones Randy's sending my way. So I'm pretty excited to finally get to check it out. Excellent choice. Definitely an excellent choice. Sicily. And that's the bottom line because Josh Oman Sr. said so. I like it. Say Less from day 3. Excellent choice. Zerk Icon Oud and Desert Oud by Dolce & Gabbana. See, I want to try. I did for Rosé. Hey, it's better than nothing. Oh yeah, the link works for anything. I make a small commission on anything you purchase through the website if you use the link. Yeah, absolutely. So now you know. I guess you are kind of the man still. I had to give you a hard time. When I saw your comment, I was like, I didn't see no order for that. I'm gonna fuck with him a little bit. So it's all lighthearted. You're a regular, you know how I am. All good, my man. Like I said, I know your wife's gonna enjoy those. My wife, that's her 2 favorite Zaharoff fragrances. It's that simple. She's got like half her bottle missing a rosé, and she's going to blow through a bottle of Bloom, I can tell you now, because we don't have lab samples She blew through them. We don't have the lab because she's been involved from the start. And I'll test it a little bit, and then she uses the rest of the sample. That's how it's been every time there was a rendition. She's a big fan of this fragrance. Asking before I ordered the big bottle. Asking what? Are we getting an idea of the plate? For Bloom, there is no 4-ounce bottle. It is a 2-ounce only. There is no plate. No, sir. There's no discounts. That was a one-time thing for Black Rose to start the year. I was very surprised that he allowed that to happen with the first release. No. So the pre-order is $30 off. In 2 weeks, that fragrance is Bloom's going to be $155, and it's a limited release. So it's $30 off currently. Yeah, there's no addition because I asked her we're going to do that again because it was an anomaly. I figured it was an anomaly because it's, that's Zaharoff taking a nice chunk off of retail because I got to tell you guys, you've seen George's fragrances. Those aren't $5, $6, $7 material cost. These aren't cheap to manufacture. George spends money. George spends money on this stuff. That's why his shit looks the way it does, and he uses the oils he uses with the flavor house and perfumer he uses. Like there's not no cheap ass fragrances that he's getting tons of margin on, guys. He spends money in the right places. That man does it right. More Smithology. I'd like to see a house do perfume. Okay, noted. Coach for men, it do smell good. Hell yeah, it does. The Cartoon Kid, good to see you, sir. Lavelle, my fragrance today, Club de New Intense Man. Profondo Parfum. Oh, damn, I didn't know they had it. I would have. I got to see if they still got it in stock. Here's the notes. So I think it took of your link code. Let's see. I don't know. Let's see. Thoughts on Detour Noir? Get Leighton. When it comes to Leighton, I still say get Leighton. Look, there's a bunch of good interpretations of it, but I still think Leighton's better than all the versions I've smelled. They got a lot of them that come really close. That one's more woodsy, but I just love Leighton. It's my second favorite from the brand. I have not. I did see your email, though. I did see your email. So we'll talk about it as much as George wants to talk about it. We're 13 minutes in. I do not see him backstage yet. I know this is on his television right now. I know he's watching and can hear me. So whenever you're ready, George. This chat sure is hyperactive. Yeah, I'm trying to get caught up on it for when he gets here. Can we get 23 more likes? We're almost there. Never tried it. I actually don't have a take. Good to see you, sir. All right. Interesting new names in the chat. Well, some names that haven't been around in a little while, or at least haven't been commenting. But people that have been back and forth on and off on the channel over the years. Good to see you, sir. Coach Open Road. A lot of Coach fragrance love today. Got your work cut out for us today. Nice full house. Yes, sir. From Chile, good to see you, sir. Tusman, like the only one I don't have besides the new one, Spritz, obviously, but I will get that. But that's the only one I don't have of the current 5 that are on the market. Also, we got some mixed emotions about Perseus. All right, so I'm skipping down a little bit, guys. I got so far behind. So 5 more minutes for George, and he'll be ready to go. He's got to get the right shirt picked out, get his hair situated, and all that good stuff. I'm assuming. See, told y'all he's got it on his TV. I know how he watches live streams. He's going to be streaming from his phone, and he's going to have it on his TV so he can see the comment section. Because if you stream from your phone, you can't see the comments unless you pull them up, and if you pull them up, it blocks everything going on the panel, so you can't really see the screen. It's kind of it's fine if you're not worried about the comments to stream from your phone. I've done it a bunch of times. Re-up of Citrine anytime soon. I'm sure he'll touch on that. I'm sure for summer he's going to have. I believe he got some filled when Bloom got filled in the blue fragrance. And I believe he'll have to touch on that. He would know better than I would. I haven't asked in a while about Citrine, so George will let us know. Good to see you, Randy. How are you, sir? Coach Platinum, I'm telling y'all, Coach is getting a ton of love in this chat today. I'm happy to see it. Almost there. We're a little over 400 subs away from 120. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there for sure. Molecule 01 plus Mandarin. Let's see. Got a sample of Perseus. It smells great. Nothing breaking any new ground. Just put my order in. We appreciate you, sir. Encre Noir Sport. I haven't reached for that one in a while. I mean, I say that all the time, right? Because I just have so many damn fragrances. Darren J, it's good to see you, though. Michael Gasaway, my favorite IFBB Pro. How are you, sir? Wearing Dior Homme? Oh, I mean, I think the Parfum's a masterpiece, but if I had to pick one to just like, this is the one I'm going to wear moving forward, oh, would be the one. It's phenomenal. I love that fragrance. I love that fragrance. I'm right there with you. Babying now, because it's well below half. I got a 5.1 ounce bottle. It's only got like that much missing from it because I don't wear it but a couple times a year anyway. Good to see you, Sandy. Another one went so Perseus and Coach. That is the hot topics here in the chat today. Kevin Hill, good to see you, sir. GZ is indeed in the house. He'll be on screen here in just a little bit. Yeah, in YouTube Studio, I can see the exact number. You guys can't. Once it gets to a certain point, like once you go over 100,000, once you get into the six figures, it stops showing the hundreds. Like once you get past 10,000, it'll show 2 digits after. Like it'll show 10,250 and stuff like that. And then once you get to 100,000, it just shows like it shows 119K on my main page. Whereas when I go to YouTube Studio, it shows 119,000. When I looked earlier, it was like 508. 119,508, I think is what it was. Either 502 or 508. So yeah, you can track down to the most minuscule of detail on analytics in YouTube Studio. Podician's called Sovereign. It costs an insane amount. George, don't miss. I agree, Rob. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. No, I have not. I have not. Cryptic Figure, good to see you. Beau de Jour from Tom Ford, great choice. I don't know if you've ever smelled this, but Streamed Rainbow by DS and Durga smells like Rainforest Cafe. It's amazing. I've never tried that, sir. Never before. Chanel Allure Sport Edition. Blanc Svengali, good to see you, sir. Wearing the new Montal Infinity. I know Selly's a fan of that one. We'll get there. Good to see you, sir. How are you, Tyler? Wearing Tobacco, my favorite tobacco fragrance of all time. Top 3 ever for me. I'll tell you that. Undoubtedly. Let's see. Mont Blanc Legends. Spirit also have Invicto Victorious on my hand for sniffing pleasure. Dunhill Icon OG. Chris with the $5 super chat. Got Oceania on the way thanks to your recommendation. On that vein, what Zaharoffs would you recommend for each season? For spring, rosé. I literally featured it this morning. I would say rosé. It was in my spring niche video today. For the fall, tobacco easily. For the summertime, citrine, it's not even close. And then wintertime is a little tough because it's kind of a 3-way tie. It depends. Do you like gourmand? Because Orum's ridiculously good. And then if you want a more spicy, very spicy fragrance, Black Rose is a standout. And then Leather Tobacco is one of the most wow factor of fragrances I've ever smelled. But that's a more challenging fragrance because it's so pungently dark, smoky, birch tar heavy, tobacco oud. That's super masculine, his strongest fragrance. So it's kind of a what's your taste with the 3 for winter. But spring, summer, fall, it's clear-cut winners for me with rosé, citrine, and tobacco. So whenever you're ready, sir, give me the thumbs up, and I'll go ahead and bring you on. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Lizzie grabbed her bottle of Signature Bloom. I bring you the man, the myth, and the legend, at least in his own mind.
And that's all that's important is what's in my own mind, right?
Right. How you feel about yourself is number one, right?
So as long as I'm in my head, I'm fabulous. Does anything else matter?
That's exactly my point, George. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Am I even here?
Yeah, we can see you. I'm kind of surprised you have such a high angle. That's new for you.
You know what?
I mean, it's fine. I'm used to it being more level with you. It's kind of surprising. That's a good spot to stream, though. That's where I streamed from last time I was at your house.
Yeah. Do you think I should bring it down a little bit more?
Yeah, because you're kind of having to look up at us. Probably wouldn't hurt. Let's see. Might as well get caught up. Yes, 1981 Los Angeles. Beautiful crowd tonight. Make sure y'all do the due diligence and hit the like button. Let them know. So, George, I have to ask, what are you wearing today?
I'm wearing citrine.
Wearing citrine. You can't go wrong there. So, speaking of citrine, we've had some questions about a citrine restock. Would you care to enlighten us?
Yes, I should have it next week.
Well, there you go. So it'll be available in roughly a week, guys.
You heard it from the duck's ass.
Not the horse's mouth, the duck's ass.
Yes, yes. Whack, whack.
So the biggest questions I've been getting, obviously we need to discuss signature bloom here today. So how are you feeling about this one, George?
I actually feel really good. I think that every time I give birth to one of the children, I get nervous about it. And I think I called you yesterday and I was like, I get nervous about these things. And I know that, first of all, hello, everybody. And thank you, Ross, for having me on your channel.
George.
And I know that many of the individuals that are listening right now know my path and your path, right? They follow along. And I've been talking about opening up Europe for, 3 years.
About.
Right?
Roughly.
It's actually happening at the end of May. And so I have, and what does that mean, opening up? It means that you'll be able to find Zaharoff in special perfumeries. I'm working at maybe most capitals in Europe. And so I'm overcome with a lot of emotions and responsibilities, and and I want everyone to enjoy everything. And so I have that happening, and then I have now Bloom, which is a little bit different than anything that I've done ever. I would say next to the women's launch back in when I was 21 years old. So I feel good. Just, butterflies in my stomach.
So we're getting asked about the 4-ounce citrine. I knew that was going to come. A bunch of comments about that. That's always the big question. It's been ever since the minute you said that was going to be a thing one day. It comes up all the time.
I think that, so it's
how things have changed, huh?
I know, right? Is it crazy? So I think that I want to be very careful, because after I talk about the large and the small and the France production and the U.S. production, and it confuses,
that was a clusterfuck last time we did this.
So it confuses people. So yes, there's going to be a large, and it's probably going to be either so. The large has already been filled. However, it's missing the plates that are being made, the metal plates. And so until I get the metal plates, I'm not going to introduce the large into the market. So it's nice there, it's sitting there macerating in its own juices. The small ones will be made available probably in 2 weeks. And then the large ones will be forthcoming, as well as ancillaries of shower gel, body balm, and a soap bar in the citrine, which is, it turned out just phenomenal. Like I layer it. I do
the shower gel.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Last time I visited, because he had his final batch prototype, and when I went to take a shower, he's like, use the citrine shower gel.
Right.
It's a bit different from the fragrance. I got to say, the green and citrus elements of it are heightened. It's more of a crisp green citrus smell.
It was exactly, Ross. It was reformulated for the ancillaries, because when we made the original citrine, because the top note is where the magic is in the fragrance. Mm-hmm. But when we did it in a soap bar and lotion, what came out was the mid note, was more of the musk. It's like a clean musk, and I wanted the clementine to come across, and so
mission accomplished.
Yeah, if you're going to be, I saw someone's going to be in Athens. I might be there at the same time. If you go to Stemma in Athens, it's right in the center. It's called STEMMA. You might even see Zaharoff in Athens and in Santorini and Mykonos during the summer. So yeah, someone said I'm going to Athens, and if you have any perfumeries, and Stemma in Athens is probably where I would direct you to go. Nothing in the Middle East yet. Hi, everybody. Nothing in the Middle East yet. So when it came,
Duncan, good to see you, Barry. Seen a lot of familiar names.
Yes, and Bloom is probably Bloom has. So this is how Bloom came about. I was with Dr. Orion. Dr. Orion is the He's a doctor, a skin doctor. He's a
Skincare of the stars.
yes, like I want to say plastic surgeon, but he doesn't do surgery. But Dr. Orion is with the Kardashians. Like if he were to die, all of Beverly Hills would age. They would, you would see them completely age, myself included. And so we were talking, and he said that he is looking for he was talking about a gardenia from Frederick Mall, and he had a big it was like literally as a room spray. Like he loved this gardenia, and he said it's the best gardenia in the market. And of course, the first thing that comes is my ears perk up. I'm like, and I was with Antonia, my business partner, and I go, we got to hunt that down, and let's see what that's all about. So we got the Frederick Mall gardenia, it's beautiful, and I'm like, let's make a better version of this, because we didn't have, and Zaharoff, the Zaharoff signature line is a best in class. And so my version of best in class, and so there's different, there's a citrus, the black rose, you have a rose, a wood, a leather, a tobacco, and now it was, let's do something with this jasmine gardenia, this white floral, and this was what, Ross, what would you say I got on this it has to be 3 years.
It's been a while. There was 2 initial renditions, and the one that leans a little bit more to the gardenia was the one that Heidi fell in love with.
Right. That's right.
And that's because there was one that was pretty much strictly jasmine, was the only white floral, and then one that Claude introduced the nice gardenia note into. And that's the one that was built across, because it literally blew my wife's mind. And I was like, I would wear this too. And then George started spending time with it. He's like, really? This is good. So he started wearing. He's like, holy shit.
And it was
great.
It just wasn't the gardenia, the white floral, but was also the resin on the bottom that really was that took it from this feminine. It took it from a feminine fragrance to it just brought it a little bit closer to more masculine, where I was wearing it too. But your wife was an inspiration, because your wife started going through tester bottles of it.
Multiple.
And so
where I'd have to call and be like, George, she went through it. Would it be okay to get another lab sample?
And it was very inspiring. Like when you create fragrances, you have to have people testing it and doing, and you have to, I can't explain it to you. Fragrance creation, there's some designers that will create, and I come from the fashion side. I have 30 years of fashion under my belt. And there's a lot of fashion designers that create their clothing aesthetic is them. So I'll give you an example for Louis Vuitton. I'm gonna get my I shouldn't be saying this, but it's okay, whatever. What's his name is who is the creative director of Louis Vuitton right now?
Didn't Pharrell take over?
Pharrell. So when Pharrell was different than Virgil Abloh. Virgil, I connected to as a consumer. I felt like, okay, this is me. I felt a connection to what his aesthetic was. When I look at Pharrell, it reminds me of Pharrell. Like, do I want to dress like him? Not really. Do you know what I mean? And so where am I going with this is some designers design for themselves, and they say, this is who I am and wear my look. Or this is my customer. This is who the Zaharoff man is. And he's out there in the world making his life happen, balls out, and Zaharoff is male, masculine, and female, effeminate. Like, I love that. I don't like the crossing over. There's nothing wrong with other brands or anyone that likes that. But for myself, what I want to introduce to the world, I like that line, those lines. And so when it came time to creating this, I didn't want it to be too floral, too white, but I wanted it to be a balance to the black rose. If that makes sense, it's like a balance.
It's the counterculture type of profile. So where black rose is very spicy, heavy resins, and I mean heavy black pepper spice, and very woodsy dominant. This is a fresh white floral tone. It's not overly powdery like it may sound. When I say 3 different types of jasmine, oil, and gardenia, probably sounds like a powder bomb to some of you. It's really not.
Not powder.
Not like an iris fragrance would be,
right.
or certain roses, like even black rose and rosé aren't powdery roses. It's interesting the way Claude creates them to where they're not powder bombs, because they very well could be on certain skin types. And skin chemistries in general, just the way they react. But with this, you get a springtime freshness, hence the timing of him releasing this. And instead, like he was saying, instead of that just overtly feminine white floral dominance, because normally a heavy white floral is a very girly fragrance most of the time. The profiles are pretty girly. The resins, the myrrh, incense kind of stuff really reel it back. And again, I wouldn't sit here and call it a masculine fragrance. Black rose is a very masculine fragrance. This is a more metrosexual man or confident man who likes florals, and very much ladies who like a nice masculine touch to their fragrances. That's kind of who I believe this is best suited for. Now, I could see this being a kind of a nerve-wracking fragrance for some of you to want to pre-sale, pre-order, blind buy. Don't if you're nervous about it. Don't. Wait for the samples. But any of you that are confident in, I like resins, I like white florals, sounds good to me, now's your chance to get it the cheapest it'll be, basically, is what it comes down to. Because this is one that I thoroughly enjoy. But again, I'm me as an individual. I can't speak for each and every one of you. So you got to decide for you. Do you want to wait, or do you want to go ahead and just grab it?
Beautiful, because samples will be made available. The price is gonna go up to the regular price, the normal price. Samples are going to be made available.
Mm-hmm.
I do the pre-sale as a token of appreciation. It's the only time that this goes into discount, and I'm like what Ross was saying, I'm very grateful. I see the comments, and I see someone's asking about XXX, and if I stop for a minute and I take a moment to be in the moment and think about everything that has transpired in the past 4 or 5 years, it's a bit overwhelming, and I'm very grateful to everyone who has supported myself and Ross and this journey. It's just really incredible. Anyway, so yes, there's 3 types of jasmines in this fragrance, and there's gardenia. The gardenia is in the top note. So when you have coconut, star jasmine, and coconut, star jasmine, and the gardenia, like and florage, it's a mix of gardenia in the first note. You can imagine what you're going to get the moment you spray it. It's going to liven you up, but it's not a powdery opening. It's a floral opening. It's a white floral opening. And so then what happens is that the middle note, the mid note has there's 2 types. There's Arabian and Egyptian jasmine. And
I've got the note card here if you want me to read it off. That's what I was pulling up.
Okay, that's fine. With an amber. And so go ahead, Ross. So you're going to get now, it's going to go from this floral to this really incredible dry down. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So some of you have seen the note card, because that's his little Easter eggs. He'll print the cards before the fragrances go on sale, and whoever's buying from Zaharoff, that's little Easter eggs for customers that are currently purchasing from Zaharoff. I've been getting comments. He's been getting stuff in the Zed Lounge about, and he may be here, Joe, if you happen to be here, Joe Norman. He's like, man, you should just go ahead and post it then if it's the case. It's intentional. George does these things intentionally. But it's classified as a floral incense perfumed by Claude Deer, as he has done the entire signature line. So your top's Gardenia en Florage from South America, coconut and star jasmine from France. And then in the heart, you've got gold amber, jasmine sambac, jasmine from Egypt. You've got orange blossom and red peony. So a very floral heart and floral top. The base of this fragrance, because some of you are probably like, wow, that's a lot of flower notes. the base is the counterbalance to these florals. So you get sandalwood, sustainable vanilla bourbon, oud, sugarcane, more jasmine. It's white jasmine, sustainable lang lang, myrrh, and olibanum tears. And when I tell you it's heavy on the myrrh and olibanum tears, oh my, that's what really, and you get it from the start. And as it dries, the myrrh becomes the star of the show. That's where you really start to get the signature pour home DNA, because the myrrh is kind of the thumbprint of this DNA. That's kind of, because Claude loves to work with myrrh. If you notice, both of my fragrances had myrrh in it, because Claude loves to work with myrrh oil. And I think pretty much all but maybe one of George's signature releases has myrrh. It's like I said, if I had to pick one note to tie to Claude Deer, it's myrrh. Right. So it's very dominant in this fragrance. So, and believe it or not, I actually don't really get much coconut here. If anything, it gives it a little bit of texturing to the way the jasmine comes across, kind of thickens up that opening just a bit. And when I say thickens up, I don't mean it's a very creamy fragrance, because it's an airy white floral like we were speaking on earlier. There's no real spice to this. There's no woodsy dominance. And even though there's no heavy musk and heavy woods, because there is a little bit of oud here, but no funk. Any of you familiar with this Chinese oud that George and Claude like to use, there's never any funk. It's a warm wood type of smell.
It's a sweeter. It's a
yeah,
sweeter,
it blends beautifully with this DNA. And that's another one that Claude really likes to use. It's in most of the line as well. That's more additional tie-in to the signature Pour Home's DNA. This has a really good balance. When you see the note breakdown, it looks dominant to floral, and it is at its core. It's a floral fragrance, but the supporting notes are big time supporting players.
Right. And that's what makes it wearable for myself, because I wouldn't be able to wear it if it was too much of a floral. And I think, it's kind of funny, because your wife is a very strong, your wife is not dainty, she's a tough cookie, and it fits her too. You know what I mean? And so, and that's probably why it also works well on her and me. So I wouldn't have to, because I would have to wear it as well. And so you explained it very well, Ross. And remember, at its core is the sandalwood, the myrrh, and the frankincense, and the oud. And that's the 3 or 4 oils that are most of the entire collection.
And they stand out more, in some blends more than others, and in this blend, it's more than others.
Right.
It really comes into play and balances with just this load of white floral that you get, because you got orange blossom, you have gardenia, and you have all these different jasmine oils. It's a lot of white floral, and and like I said, when you just read the notes, it's like, whew, that might be too much. But in practice, when you get it on skin, it's one of those kind of moments. I promise a lot of you guys are going to have that, because it's one thing for me to tell you. It's another thing for you to experience it. Then you can really piece together, that's what he meant. I totally get it now.
And I think that, and for the newbies that are coming in there, samples will be made available after the pre-sale. So if you're hesitant, or you're like, I'll wait, you could wait and get it. I'm only doing it in the one size. This is something outside of my outside of the box for myself. I wanted to do it like a pre-spring for the blue fragrance that's coming around June. So I only made, I know I say I only made a certain amount, and this is the case. I only made a certain amount, and that's it. After this batch is done, if it's successful, I'll do it next year. We'll see. But anyway, I don't want to push to say that it's a one batch and this and that. It's the small size, and no pushing.
I agree. I would like to reiterate and emphasize with that. In no way, shape, or form am I suggestion, if you're even the slightest bit nervous about if you're going to like this, do not blind buy this fragrance, because it's not for everyone. It's not. Just like leather, tobacco, and black rose are not for everyone, but boy, are they masterpieces for those that do enjoy it. And that's where I would strongly encourage, wait till launch when he has his new spray atomizer 3 mLs. I'm so glad you upgraded to those. And get one and see if it's for you. Do I think he's going to be out of bottles in a week? No, you never know. But I think in this situation, if you're hesitant at all, please wait.
Yeah.
Please don't feel pressured. There's no pressure from either of us. Not from George, never has any pressure. And I don't want anybody to feel like me bringing these things up is me saying, buy now. Please don't take it that way.
You know, there's interesting because there's white jasmine, there's Egyptian jasmine, there's Arabian jasmine, there's star jasmine. It's so interesting because they're all white florals, but there's the little nuances in them, depending upon what part of the world they come from. But I'm sure all of us have walked by a jasmine
Without
book,
even realizing it, probably.
right? And then you smell it, you're like, oh my God, what's that? And that's kind of, and you're like, it's like this freshness, and that's probably what the top note is like. And I just saw ask me what's the dry down? The dry down, it comes into, it's like a jasmine, it's like a white incense.
Basically. Yeah, because I touched on it. Zach might have just joined because I kind of broke down the fragrance a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
And you get the incense and myrrh from the start, but obviously the white floral accord never goes away. It's loaded in this fragrance, even in the base, the way it's balanced. But myrrh becomes the biggest star of the show in the deep dry down. You're still going to have incense. You're still going to have jasmine. And you do get a little bit of woodiness from the oud. It's a warm wood accord. Slight. It's not a heavy woodsy note. I don't get tons of sandalwood. If anything, I get the sandalwood earlier in the fragrance. I don't really get a lot of creamy woods in the latter portions. It's early on. So that's what it really comes down to. If you're a fan of myrrh, which is a slight vanillic aromatic tone.
Yeah, that's right.
This particular myrrh oil that Claude likes to use, it's vanillic and aromatic, a little balsamic, basically, with some incense. Beautiful incense. Those Olibanum tears, if you're familiar with any of the incense heavy fragrances, rosé, citrine, noir, that incense. It's that incense, guys.
Yeah.
This is basically if noir was loaded with jasmine.
Yes, that's good. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
That's very good. And so that's what the bloom is. Ross, someone just posted something that they said I promised him something. Did you catch that by chance?
No. What's the name? I'm looking for what you're talking about.
I don't know. I just looked up and I saw saying you promised me, and I guess I never did it or never followed through. I tried to.
I'm looking on YouTube. I don't know what's the name of the chat. I don't know what you're talking
or maybe
about.
have that person.
By the way, Volcanus, I didn't get an opportunity to acknowledge, but I appreciate the super chat, my man. The king of the super chat has arrived wearing a great fragrance with Mancera Intense Rapoise. I appreciate you, sir. I didn't want you to think I didn't see. I don't see what you're referring to, George. I'm scrolling through. Oh, here we go. James McGee from Zaharoff to the UK. If I email you, I tried, but I don't know if you got it. So he didn't say promise, but I don't know if you have an opportunity to get caught up with that because George has been traveling quite a bit.
I'm very good about going through all my messages. Did you send it to george@zaharoff.com?
That's usually where you tell people to send them.
Like and the sheer amount of messages and emails and IMs and that I'm getting,
you got to remember, James, when he tells you directly in a public forum that 30 to 50 people are going to be like, oh, I'm just going to email him and get some samples too. That's what happens. That's why he's laughing. That's reality. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry's like, oh, George will send me samples too when he's trying to do something nice for someone. So that's a real it's funny the way I'm saying it, but it's real. And that does happen every time. So I'm confident he just hasn't had an opportunity to see it. And now knowing him, he's going to make it a point when this live stream's over to try to find it.
So I just want you to see report not as spam. So it went into spam. So I found it. I found your email.
There he was looking while I was talking. There you go.
All right, I'll take care of it. And then or I'll get can you lend me $1,000? Can you lend me and then fill it in? Can you lend me $10,000?
Are you really in this community if you don't ask George for money? That seems to be the thing in this community.
We bless and love everybody. I tell them I can't help you, but you got to stay strong. You got to get through it. Things will always get better, and things are always
Oh,
changing. All right, let me see what you asked me here. For London, you're so kind. I'll be some samples. I'll be grateful. All right, I'll take care of you, James. I'm glad you brought it up. All right.
yeah, for sure. For
Talk about
sure.
the blue one. And so, no, you haven't missed the talk about the blue one.
So do you want to talk about Seraphine Blue a bit?
Um,
'Cause it's made its rounds on the card. People know the name and the
I think
breakdown.
so. I think with the blue, and this was something more mass, right? It's more. I went to the
So
Greek.
Stephen wanted to let you know he'll take 10 grand. Thanks, George. Not sure about borrowing, but he'll take it. No problem. No.
So I think the blue. I went to the Greek islands for my inspiration and the Mediterranean Sea,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's where I went with the blue fragrance. And I think, is there anything you want to share, Ross, with that? I think.
Well, I think personally, because I did share a little bit in the intro about the challenge of creating something unique. Because when we talked about it with Joey a while back, he hadn't tried the final rendition. Because when I asked him, I was like, "Have you smelled anything like it before?" And he's like, "Yes." I'm like, "Really?" And then when you came on, we came to the conclusion that he didn't have the final rendition yet. Because I haven't tried anything specifically that it reminds me of, and if there's one thing I have loads of, it's blue fragrances. That's why I was telling everybody in the intro, I was extra critical about the blue fragrance.
Right.
Because you can't, that's not something you can willy-nilly put out, because the last thing you want is everybody and their mama talking about how it smells just like this, that, and the other. So personally, I think we should get through Bloom before we shine a spotlight on the next fragrance, but I will say this about it, guys, that any of you that enjoy blue but don't want synthetic dominance, you're going to like Seraphine Blue. So it's not some ambroxan bomb loaded with Isoe Super and loads of synthetic ambergris. It's not that, bunch of amberwood. It's not that kind of fragrance. Claude uses synthetics, but only certain synthetics. He tries to use as many naturals as he can and or quality synthetics. That's why George's fragrances smell the way they do. Claude doesn't like to, overload with the cheaper oils.
And the so I see a bunch of questions going up. So and it all shut down in my head. So my Kuwaiti friend, I don't know. It's going to be a while because my hands are full right now to opening the Middle East. I'm not ready for that. It's a huge undertaking. And I'm not ready for that yet, so I don't know when I'll be able to. And I want to. I developed an extreme for the Middle East market. I took the Zaharoff signature pour homme and we tuned up the oud, and that was.
Man, I wish that would come out, guys. He's had that fragrance for a few years.
Yeah, it's been a couple, 3-4 years actually, and so it's in.
He had that fragrance before Rosé was in the marketplace.
Right, that's right. That's right. Is there any chance of your fragrances being stored in a store? Yes. So Norway will be part of the European opening, which begins in the next couple months, and then maybe fall or 2025. When is George doing an elixir? So the
Great
elixir.
question, Barry.
The elixir is the privé, right? Would you say?
Well, because elixir is a marketing term, it's not a concentration. For those of you that didn't know, there's not an ode to elixir or anything. Even if they title it that, it's just marketing. And it's hot right now. That's a designer term, kind of.
So an elixir
would be what you would want to consider his elixirs, and it's a specific, special, limited, numbered line. That's going to come with a few fragrances, because that's kind of like the way the elixir flanker has become. It like the Boss Bottled elixir, Dior Sauvage elixir, and so on. It's like the special, most potent and just desirable, most expensive version of each of these popular fragrance lines. Whereas what you're doing, technically, your privés could be considered that, but they're also a totally unique DNA. They're not signature DNA, guys. It's all total original new stuff that Claude created. But if we had to if I had to point you in the direction of what would be George's equivalent, it would be the privés that are coming.
Yeah, but no elixir is planned though. I think that the one thing, and we're waiting to see is IFRA came out with a new group of things that are not legal anymore, and one of them is tobacco oil.
I'm surprised you went there.
And
I was
so,
waiting because I didn't know if you were going to say the word tobacco.
and so I want to make sure that the information is correct. So I don't want to repeat it, but it's going to affect the tobacco. And so we still have about a year. It goes into 2025, the end of 2025. So you'll be able to have it in the market. But I think that it's going to affect many fragrances, which I don't know why. We take the nicotine out of the tobacco. So we'll see. But I won't switch. I was talking to Ross about this too. I will not switch something and still call it, So that's probably one of the things that's kind of breaking my heart. But I just have to have faith that Claude will do his magic. Claude's like, don't worry. We'll figure it out. We'll figure something out.
Because when the inevitable happens, there'll be a new tobacco fragrance. It won't be called signature tobacco, but it'll be a new tobacco. Because kudos to you for that. He's not just going to reformulate it and say, oh, it's not much of a change. No, it'll be a different fragrance.
Because I don't want to do that to people either. The Dilly, thank you. Much love, Dakota. Thank you.
And leave it to Duncan wanting nicotine in his
Duncan,
tobacco.
I was just going to say, leave it to Duncan. Duncan, you're awesome. So the code word for blue. So before I leave, the tobacco is not changing. There's just doing some.
Yes, please be very clear.
It's not changing. There'll be an announcement, but IFRA made some things. And how about this? We're checking to see how tobacco is being affected by it. That's the right answer. But Claude, I feel like Claude is my I'm like left brain. He's my right. Like we're one. Like we're one, and we are in sync. He's an incredible human being, and he gets me. I've known Claude for 30 years. So we kind of get each other. He's got free realm to do what. Maybe one day we'll have Claude on here too.
I'd love to. I've been saying for 2 years I was going to get him. It's not easy to work his schedule.
Right.
He's actually, for being retired, he's pretty busy.
Yeah, he's very busy, right? Hi, Kevin. Yeah. You guys call it, someone said, is Jared's a bishop? I go, wait a minute. Jared's a bishop? And
that's a nickname that was given to him on Dedrick's channel. The bishop. So, he's the bishop of Fragcom. That's what we call him.
Dilly, it's an international thing. It's everywhere. Mm-hmm. IFRA's based out of Switzerland. And they go and they slash through things that they deem you can't have. It's scary, and a lot of the fragrances that are not, they don't have proper documentation, there's a lot, particularly coming from a certain part of the world. They're going to have to go through stringent testing coming into the United States. They didn't have that up until the beginning of this year. They're becoming a little bit more strict. What season is Bloom best for right now? Spring, summer. It's a spring, summer fragrance.
I would say more spring, fall, honestly.
Oh, spring to fall?
Yeah, like super high humidity, I don't think it'll be best, but summer evenings, totally Bloom would work, yeah. But I would say spring anytime, summer evenings, fall anytime.
Yeah.
That's what I think. It's not heavy enough for, like, if you live in a very cold, like snows for 3 months kind of climate for winter, but for the rest of you guys that are southern region and stuff where your winter is 40 to 50 degrees, you can wear it year round.
And so we'll see. So I don't want to say there's a ban in tobacco oil. There's something with there's a part of it, there's a molecule, something, but it's coming. It's coming.
It's not happening yet.
And it's interesting to see how they do it. Like so right now, the 1st of April, no new fragrances could be created using it. For existing fragrances that are on the market, the last time that they could be on the shelves is next year fall. And so I'm stocking up. I'm stockpiling up. So it's not about protection of natural resources, or not just. So it's not about protection. I don't know. I don't know what it's about. I don't know if. I don't know the
This was information via Claude Deer.
right. It's information through MAN. And so just to give you an idea of the infrastructure that MAN needs, because the oils come from all over the world, and I need to give proper documentation to the different governments, the countries, in order for me to sell the fragrances into the countries. I have to come up with so much documentation, especially when you're dealing with countries like Korea or Japan, very strict guidelines. Which is why I'm happy I have MAN as my partner, because they're good with all of that.
Top tier.
So the shower gels, I have sensitive skin, and I slather everything on. I slather the shower gel, I slather the lotion, I do the spray, and I have sensitive skin. And so, Kayleen, how are you, Kayleen? It's good to see you again. I don't have the labels made yet. I'm working on the citrine labels. Everything else is filled. The shower gel, the lotions. I should send you some, Ross, just so you could try it out. But there's no labels on it, so it's coming.
Let's wait till the labels hit so I can show everyone.
And you know what, Harold? I think that just wait, because it doesn't apply to synthetic tobacco.
Yeah, because certain ones, they create a tobacco accord,
Yep.
and it's not actual tobacco oil. Like highly synthetic stuff, it's not actual tobacco, so it's not going to affect those.
I know I'm hugging my tobacco bottle as we speak too, Dilly, but I don't want to create a panic. George Zaharoff said that all tobacco fragrances are coming off the market. No, it's not. There's just something going on with that that's coming up ahead.
Will there be a UK store?
The citrine in the next couple of weeks. The larger size, probably, I want to say May. May will be the larger size. Do you think, Ross, that it would be better just to wait for the large size and launch them together, so that way people buy the small, but then if they want the large?
I think you should give them the option from the start. That way you don't have people saying, damn, I wish I'd have known, I would have bought the big bottle.
Because the large bottle will have the plates.
Yeah. It's probably better, even though there's going to be a small portion. They're going to say, no, I just want a 2 ounce. Go ahead and launch that. You're not going to please everyone in this situation. I think the majority are going to, is based on what I've been seeing for 6 months now, is the majority is going to want the big bottle anyway. Maybe wait till you can do them together.
Right now, I'm happy with Luxe Parfum. Will there be a UK store? I'm probably the next 12 months, I could see something going on in London or in the UK. So for the blue fragrance, the code word for the blue fragrance was Mykonos, to give you an idea of the inspiration that came with it. And so the blue fragrance is a blue fragrance with the saltiness of the sea. And I think that's all that we'll give for that.
Which one are you reading? I'm looking around for something about that.
What?
Which comment are you reading?
I'm saying it myself.
Oh, I thought you were answering a question. I'm looking around. I'm like, who's he talking to?
No sneak peek of the plates. I'm sorry. It's coming. I promise you it's coming.
So Duncan's asking about the signature grooming oil.
So I want to do that. I no longer have a partnership with Gentleman's Nod. That has ended. We're going to we're divesting from each other, and we'll see what's next with that. I enjoy doing the ancillaries like that. It's just I can't keep up with everything. It's hard. I was sad that I was not able to join the other peeps when you did a quick meet with them, when you visited PH. What's PH?
When you visited
Philippines. The
Philippines. Okay, yeah, Philippines.
Sorry, I missed you, James. I have to tell you how incredible it is to be, to go to different parts of the world. And the Filipino fragcom is quite robust. I mean, it's quite massive, and they're broken into little segments as well. The high end fragrance. It was just nice. I took a group of them out to dinner. I was in Manila for just a day. The Seraphim Blue will come in a 4-ounce and a 2-ounce. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Where does the name for the blue fragrance come from? You're gonna find out.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna find out when you everything.
In due time, Barry. In due time.
Yeah.
One release at a time, guys. I get it. It's his own fault for putting that stuff out there on the note card.
Right.
Of course, you're gonna speculate when you see that. It spreads like wildfire.
And I know, right? And
Yeah.
I promise you, Barry, I can't say anything because we'll talk about it. Elias Yasas Jerome Kego. It's nice. Jerome Nasakuso, he said. If you guys are wondering, he goes, "Hello, George from Melbourne, Jerome Nasakuso," which means I'm happy that I'm hearing your voice. And I respond to Jerome Kego. Hello, Melbourne. I love my Australian brothers and sisters down there. Sea Salt Accord in Fragrance. Blue Agave by Precious Liquid transports me to a virgin island looking for the new release, George. Thanks, Jacobs.
Blue Agave gets a lot of love. A lot of love. That's Richard Herpen's brand, Precious Liquid. Yep, great brand. Justin's got a lot of his fragrances. I've tried several of them.
Received my look at the pooch. I love dogs. Received my full bottle of Aurum here in Montreal. Thank you, George, for the extra for custom Ross. Any accept challenge to recreate your pick. Anyone accept my challenge? What does that mean?
To recreate my pick. Don't know what he's talking about.
What's for dinner, Ross?
The same thing as every day. 170 grams of 97% lean ground turkey with some sugar-free ginger spice sauce and 75 grams of spinach. That's my next meal. Yeah. That's the post-live stream meal every day.
So, Ross, if you had between rosé and black rose, they're different. They're different experiences.
By the way, Tate, can you elaborate? I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Can you elaborate on this? But you were saying, George?
Anyone accept my challenge?
To recreate your pick. Which picture?
So the rose in the London's Empire, the signature rose and the black rose are completely different. They're different experiences. I don't think you even smell rosé in the black rose. It depends what you want. Black rose is very aggressive, and rosé is very calming. I think that's the best way to say it, right? The rosé is a meditation rose incense.
Yeah, it's the way the incense comes across, the rose anthanite and everything. It's a calming type of mood.
Right.
It's not an upbeat fragrance. It's a calming fragrance. Whereas black rose is much more assertive. There's a sharpness. There's an edge, I think would be the way to put it. There's an edge to that. Much more masculine.
Right. And I feel like saying, never mind. So the other tobacco.
God knows what you were going to say. The black and white with your arms up. You talking about where just the rose was colored on my fitness page? That picture? That's the picture I'm thinking you're talking about.
Now people are like, what was he going to say? Listen, it's like, how do you...
Yeah, go ahead, say it. It don't matter.
How do you do your love making? Do you do it stretched out for an hour and a half, or do you do it in 5 minutes? The black rose is aggressive, and the rosé is nice and smooth and
sensual.
That's it. Thank you. So I didn't want them to be like, well, what does he mean by that? So I had to finish I know my mind goes there all the time. What can
hilarious. The tobacco is a compliment beast. I can believe it.
How much of a change tobacco fragrance will be with formulation? I know leather is different. So the leather, it doesn't affect the leather tobacco. And so, George, are you going to be at the store in Chicago this summer? My girl and I, Dilly, the store has not been open since the pandemic.
Yeah, it's been a few years.
The store has been closed since the pandemic, and it was the best thing that ever happened. God guided me. I'm so happy. I didn't renew the lease. 2 months before the pandemic because I felt inside me that there was something that I don't know, and the pandemic happened. Signature Rosé is one of my favorites. It's mystical, calming, and also sensuous. Elias knows it. Elias, did you send me an email about the rose? About the rosé? Tifildis. If anyone could have a more difficult Greek name, I should say difficult, challenging Greek name.
Challenging is a good word. Yeah.
So
yes, he sent you.
Any other questions before I bid thee farewell?
Yeah, now's your chance, guys, while we got him.
I'm here.
How was your workout today, George?
I did chesticles.
As did I.
I didn't do the kind of workouts you do.
I'm sure.
I find myself in this constant state of hunger.
Likewise.
Don't like overeating. I don't want to gain weight. I like, I'd like to look nice, and especially if I'm going to be in the islands with a little bathing suit on. Anyway, I want to look nice, So I did chesticles. So I want to thank everybody for supporting me and supporting Ross, supporting our endeavors. Bloom is formal. Would you say formal?
I would say semi-formal.
Semi-formal?
It can dress up, but it can be quite casual as well. I wouldn't say it's the best t-shirt fragrance, but like polo and above.
Yeah.
Definitely can pull if you want to stand out at work, if you're in a work situation where there's no restrictions or worries of HR or like that lady 3 desks over that has the sensitive nose. Like if you don't have those concerns, you can totally rock Bloom to work and stand out. And then, on up to evenings, dressier occasions, suit and tie, leather jacket, whatever. It'll work for all of those things. That's why I say semi-formal.
Right. I think you're right. Semi-formal. And Coco Loco Charlie, I'm looking at some of the comments. Let's talk about Black Rose for a minute. Black Rose, the amount of support that the Black Rose has received and is getting was a huge part of me being able to expand into Europe. And so I want to thank everybody who has, I'm just very grateful. Thank you for everybody that has supported Zaharoff. Black Rose, I have to tell you, and we're doing shower gel and lotion on that one too, in the next month or so.
No, Bloom is going to be etched. No plate.
No plates for Bloom. It's going to be etched. How do I explain it? The only way I could describe the development of Black Rose was when you have. I spent time. I did men's tailored clothing, which is like men's suits, shirts, neckwear, formal wear, and when you have an Italian that makes suits by hand, they'll wear it. And then they'll be like, oh, you know what? I need to fix this. Oh, I need a pocket for my passport. Oh, you know what? I should need a coin. Oh, I need to move my arm more. I'll add more fabric here. And over the course of 3 years, 4 years, you have the perfect suit because you've tweaked it over time. The Black Rose is just, I could dip myself in it. I spray it when I'm in bed. I want to just bake in it. Like I want to smell it in my dreams. That's how much I love my Black Rose.
I sprayed the Black Rose on the rose.
Yeah. Oh, like the Black Rose.
It's mystical. It really is.
You've got a Black Rose on your hand?
Well, it's not a Black Rose, but it is a rose. I sprayed the Black Rose on here.
On the larger bottle of Coco Loco Rosé and Citrine. Yes, they're coming. Coco Loco should be in 2 weeks. Coco Loco, the large, will be available. Mm-hmm. The larger plates and the boxes, they're all different. I drove the factory crazy because there's all these different caps. So imagine having a factory, because here in Chicago, we have a lab in West Chicago that does everything. And so I could go over there and just explain it. Or if there's a problem, I fix it myself. when you have a factory in France and there's 5 different colors of caps and they all have to be all mixed up, it creates a little bit of a, but the ladies in France love me. So they love me. So whatever I want, they'll do, and I love them. And so anyway, so the largest sizes are coming. Black rose is a soothing scent for me. If I wear it to bed, I sleep like a baby. Me too. The black rose, I love it so much. So thank you guys.
It says rosé is the most amazing fragrance ever created. You won't hear an argument from me. I love it. It's it's never moving from my top 5. It's such a unique experience for me. It's a hit in this household.
And my business partner Antonia wears rosé.
Every time I'm around her, she's wearing it.
And
every time I see Antonia,
this whole envelopment of and Antonia is a tough cookie. And it's kind of funny because she's got couture clothing. She shows up in Balmain head to toe, dripping, and you have this big scent bubble of rosé. It's awesome. And so the caps, Jared, I don't think I'm going to do that because I had the ability to do it myself, but it's going to be tough in Europe to be able to be selling caps. Good evening, the last of the Mohicans. Hello, Joel. No burners.
Joel, hey, you're actually using your main account.
Much love, Joel.
Good to see you, Joel.
Here,
no burners, too tired. Good to see you, Joel.
Make sure you
and for most of you regulars, you don't know who the profiles are. I know pretty much all of Joel's burner profiles. I love Joel. Shout outs to Joel.
He's so crazy. I love it.
I love Joel. Joel's hilarious. He cracks me up. Like in the early days of me streaming, he would say, "Hey, it's Mohicans." Now I just know when it's him. And when he messages me on some of these profiles, I'm like, I know it's you, and he'll put a laughing emoji. Shout outs to Joel. Joel's one of a kind.
Joel, I love Joel, and
me too.
And Waltz, Donald, New Boys, everybody. Kelly, good to see you.
Good to see you, Dave.
Kevin, I love you guys. And Ross is right. I have the TV on watching the comments. So.
That's how he watches live streams. Doesn't matter what room he's in. He's got a TV in every room and an Apple TV with his TV in every room. And that's how he watches YouTube. If he goes in the kitchen, there's a TV with an Apple TV device in there.
I travel with one in my hotel room. I hook it up. Guys, the best thing to do when you're in anywhere in the world, the Apple TV plugs into the TV. I can either put it on my phone or the Wi-Fi of the hotel, and all of the U.S. stuff comes right into it. I love it. Still waiting for Kevin to get the Black Rose back in stock. So that's coming. So let me tell you what happened with Black Rose. And I had said that I had told Ross, because I made a lot. And I said to Ross, if this stays out, it won't be until fall, because I have the European and I got but it blew out in a week.
I kept trying to tell him, guys, because I was telling you guys how much y'all were going to like it. And that's what I always tell you guys when it's something that it's like, this is definitely one of my favorites from him. And I tell you guys that, and I'm like, don't just believe me. Wait till you get it and hear it from everyone else. And that's what happened. And sure enough, because there's an argument. There's a real argument that Black Rose is the best Zaharoff fragrance. There's a real argument. Some people are going to say leather tobacco, and I would still argue rosé, but it's between those three. And the other one you'll hear is tobacco. That's pretty much most people's favorites. Of course, there's X fans and triple X fans and all of that. But what I've gathered from things I've seen written, typed, posts, all these different things, Black Rose seems to be the shining star for the house as of late. So I was not surprised to see you blow through that stock at all.
That is why
it was Coco Loco all over again, but you had more bottles this time, and it still happened.
And it still happened. And then our care, Robert, thank you. I appreciate it. I try to push myself to do better and be better, and then I get nervous that, oh my God, I need to do better, and I just flow and I just put it in God's hands, and whatever happens. So thank you. I'm seeing all the comments here. Thank you, guys.
I appreciate the active chat. We're still holding around 170 strong. We had a little over 200 for a while. We've had a great crowd. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all the super chats. Thank you very much.
So what happened was the UK, Israel, South America, Australia, they sold of the large ones, the large black, whatever they sold out of, I couldn't replenish. So now finally, and Australia is the one that they're persistent, like they're really good in following up. They'll send me an email every other day saying, do you have it yet? How about now? Now? How about now? Do you have any left? Do you? How about now? And I'm like, it's coming. And so it took 3-4 months. It's hard because it's not like I could go buy a stock bottle, a stock cap. Like the plates are handmade, they're hand sprayed. And I can't push to hurry things up. It's just they don't like me doing that, and then I become the pesky American. So I try to do it. What's the word I call it? Persistent, a little bit persistence, a classy persistence. You know.
So I like to use, I'm glad my bottle has the imperfection, which a lot of them are like this. You see how the black's off a little bit from the stem? That just goes to show there's natural human error
And all of
to
that.
the imperfections. It's all done by hand. See it, you can see a little bit of the red right here. The black's off center a little bit. It just goes to show the detail because these are handmade, as he was saying. These are hand pressed, hand etched, hand painted.
And you guys look at the petals. If you see the petals, the inside is black, not the tips.
Mm-hmm.
This kind of, and the Z logo, it's not like just, it's, and there's no like, you can't put tape. Like, think about this, right?
No, this has to be airbrushed by hand, fine tip paintbrush by hand. There's a lot of work that goes into this, guys.
They're not
so
like,
when he says I'm waiting on plates, this is why. It takes a lot of time.
Oh my God, it's so beautiful.
Really is. Stunning work of art.
Fire those Oompa Loompas. Yes. No, this is fair wage. No sweatshops. Everything has to be done. I need to do everything on the up and up. So Kevin, pressure is on. The wait is worth it, though. I love it. Thank you so much, and happy Easter, Elias.
Black Rose is genuinely stunning. Love the herbaceous vibe in the opening and the rose. My hubby and I love it.
It's so inspiring, and we come together for the love of fragrances. I don't know. I'm all right. So I'm gonna get up. I want to show something. Just don't look at
Are you wearing pants for a change on a live stream?
I'm wearing Balmain, nice silk shirt with the Oriental. I can't say Oriental collar, right? I can't say that. So what do we call this then? Oh my God, what do I call it? The Chinese, the Mao collar? Hold on, okay, hold on. So yes, I'm wearing my boxers here.
Wouldn't be a live stream without George in an expensive designer shirt and boxers. He is the live stream stereotype, or like the Zoom call stereotype, where they're not wearing anything from the waist down, but they're like wearing a suit. It's George.
Look how beautiful.
Oh, the roses.
It's the black roses.
Yeah, this is actual black roses, guys. Let me put you full screen.
Look at that. They're actually black.
That's not dyed. That's natural.
Oh yeah, this is natural. I got this from Helfetti, and it smells like the black rose. It literally smells like the black rose.
And that's where this comes from. This is a natural color. It just bleeds. That's those black roses bleeding into the oils and alcohol. That's natural color.
Oh my God.
Comfort is key.
Comfort is key. There you go. I want to be creative. Comfort is key. So Ross.
Okay, well, there's Joel letting you guys know one of his burners. So I'm glad to see most of your burners are subscribed to me,
Ross,
Joel. I do appreciate that.
Would you do an evening Mystique elixir?
That's up to you. I'm always game to create a fragrance. You give me a green light to work with Claude, I'm down. I have something else in mind if you ever give me a green light again, though.
Is there an iris-centered signature fragrance in the pipeline? No. And I'll tell you why. I left the iris for Ross. Blue has a little bit of iris, but not to the extent of Ross.
It doesn't stand up.
I think that the iris fragrances, honestly, is going to be Ross's realm. Which I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the future has. How did Second Soul Juice color get so deep red like the black rose? I think whatever oils he had, and there was a little bit of
that one did have a little bit of dye.
a little
Remember
bit.
when we went to the filler, I had texted him what color are you looking for? So the brass and soul was natural color. He wanted a deeper tone to that.
Yeah.
Was what he told me to, because I was with George. Before that, I was in Chicago and I was talking to Andrea and Justin back and forth. Because like, okay, we're going to talk about juice colors for if you want to change your juice color, now's the time. And he wanted like three. The exact actually is 3 hues darker than brass and soul. Is the exact what that is. It's 3 tones darker of the natural juice color brass and soul.
Those fragrances, Jonathan. Thank you, Mandarin. This is a Mandarin color. Second soul. I think the second soul and the evening mystique really took it to a whole other level.
George did not do that easily. He's been working on this for years.
Which one?
So he says, why do other perfumers say it's so hard to open in different countries, but GZ seems to do it easily?
No, let me.
It was not easy. It's taking time.
I'll tell you, but I'm not gonna diss other perfumers. But if you don't have your paperwork, if you don't have it, I have to account for every oil. The paperwork for every fragrance is this thick. I have to do studies. There's a certificate of analysis. There's the allergens. There's ingredients. You need to have your IFRA papers. If you don't have your IFRA papers, you can't open in different countries. You just can't. And so there's a lot of brands that sell in the U.S. They cannot sell in other countries because they don't have the paperwork. I want to know that there's not kids plowing the fields, pulling sandalwood and ruining the environment for it. You guys, I went to Southwest Africa to show you where the Privé oil comes from. I want to make sure that everything is on the up and up. So it is hard to open countries with paperwork. If you don't have the paperwork, you can't do it. It's impossible. You can't. Okay, I'm back here. I feel like Black Rose is my cold
So
evening.
the reason I'm showing Orem real quick, I wanted to. So next Saturday there's a movie Heidi wants to go see. She bought tickets for. So I found a reason because it's a little too warm for this right now, and I've been itching to wear it for some reason. Last couple of days I was like, I could squeeze it in. It doesn't matter that it's like 82 and humid. And we're going to the movies next Saturday in the evening, so this is going to be my night out, going to the movies and dinner fragrance. I've been trying to find a reason to wear it because I've just been itching to wear it lately. That's why I'm kind of grabbing the bottle to show, because I haven't showed it in a while. Look at that plate. My God. Hit after hit. Hit after hit. My apologies. I interrupted you going to read a question.
Hey, it's okay. I thought he was.
Oh, we got another Joel burner. Horsecock Express is in the house.
I love it. Thank you. Listen, there's a lot of, how many points, like when we have this point, we have the notes, the rewards that we have for Zaharoff. And I went to go look at how many total points are out there in the marketplace. And it was something crazy, like almost 15 million points are out there. And some big, some kind of like, oh, that's not. But for a small guy, that's a lot of transactions and points and redeeming for $30. And I just love it. So I'm glad that I just saw that. I'm glad that he's redeeming his
points.
His points. It's awesome.
So London's Empire on pre-sales, it only happened one time where a discount was enabled, but there's no additional discounts on the pre-sale for Bloom right now. But any of the fragrances currently available outside of that, if you use the link that's pinned in the chat or the link that I have in my link tree on any of my bios, my Zaharoff link automatically provides 10% off. The only thing it won't work on is Signature Bloom right now, any pre-sale fragrances. Now, once it goes to regular price, the code will be active, and 10% off a regular price is more expensive than what you can buy it for right now.
That's right.
10% off is $15.50 off,
right.
Whereas it's $30 off right now.
No, and the reason why I'm doing the pre-sale is just to give those who have supported the brand the opportunity to save. Now, outside of the different parts of the world, they pay for shipping and duty, and they can't honor that discount. They can't honor the pre-sale. That's why I do it the pre-sale. I want to go back. I want to make sure I say this right with Kayleen when he said that they just don't want to put the time and effort. That's not the truth. I didn't mean that people are lazy. It's just they're not able to. There's some perfumers that get oils from wherever ways they do, and they just don't have the paperwork, and so it's difficult. That's all.
Can I elaborate on how I view it for you?
Yes.
He doesn't like to leave any stone unturned, and if it means it takes him longer to do it the way he feels it needs to be done, then so be it. That's how I view what he's going through for this. He's not willing to take any shortcuts or do anything less than what he expects Zaharoff to be represented as in any and every venture that he chooses to go through. So I think that's probably the best way I can describe how he operates and what this is, just from a spectator's point of view and being in the conversations with him when he wants to share things with me. That's the reality, is he just doesn't want to feel like there's something more he could have done to make it better in any way or the right way, and just all these different things. Is that fair?
That's beautifully said. And remember, I fallen on my face a couple times. So this time around, I try to stop and take a deep breath and think things through and look at it inside out, outside in, left to right, front to back, back to front. And so now the points, you should be able to get on into the first class lounge on the Zaharoff website. The moment you go into the website, it'll take you, there's a tab, and if you go right in there with your email address, it'll tell you what you're able to do. When you hit certain seashells,
Mike Tyson's here, certain
ones. So I think it should take you in there, and Zaharoff will send you emails, but you have to use your email. You have to sign in with your email, and then we keep track of it. If you're wondering about your points, Jared, you have
a lot.
Yeah, Jared's one of my
biggest supporters.
Number one, yes, of my biggest supporters, and so you should have. Watch, hold on now. One moment, please. Ask for me, Operator George.
Ricky, yeah, he's Ricky Tomatoes is in the house, by the way, George. Like I said, we got a lot of Cannoli Mafia representation here in the chat. Kitchi K was in here earlier. I don't know if she's still watching. Of course, we got Boz, we got Dunk, whole bunch of people are here. It's great to see everybody. But Ricky, he's got a citrine, a reformulated citrine that shows the top note more. Shampoo, shampoo, lotion, body gel, lotion, and soap bar.
Yes,
I got there. That's coming soon.
But going into other ancillaries like shampoo and conditioner, I want to focus. If I do anything more, it'll be the ancillaries for the shaving. If I were to do that,
shower gel, bar soap, lotion. My apologies.
Let me look at here. Smile. All right, hold on. Jared.
Donald says you've always been very nice, George. Many of my orders have come signed by you. It's always much appreciated.
I try. If I'm traveling, I'm not able to. Here we go, Jared Miller.
Appreciate that, Joel. Thank you.
Jared Miller has 1, 2, 3. So he's got 4 different accounts because he uses different emails.
He's sharing you. He's airing you out, Jared.
You got to use the number. And this is, I'll tell you, when customers write to me, it says, "What are my points?" And they have 5 different emails and 5 different numbers, and
Can you combine them?
Yeah, exactly. So Jared,
oh man,
which do you want, the J Mills for life?
Look, he's putting laughing emojis. He gets it.
Which he's leaving money at the table.
Dan, not the man, used $30 in points for the bottle of rosé he bought his wife for Mother's Day.
I'll give you an example, Jared. You have almost 11,000 points in one account, Let's see where the other ones are at here. Jared, you have a lot of. You've left a couple. You've got some cash. So
This is one account.
you have enough points for a first-class ticket for 2 to London.
So Joel's got burner accounts for YouTube. Jared's got burner accounts to order fragrances.
So look, he's got 11, 15.
Oh,
so the major one is the J Mills. You have.
Don't share the whole email address. Everybody doesn't need to know all his email.
He's gold on all 3 emails too. So he's a good customer on all 3.
Yeah. So every Jared Miller through Zaharoff's a great customer.
Yes, Jared Miller's out there. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you to the Bishop, 50 Shades of Bishop, all the different nicknames.
So let me see something here. Isn't that hilarious? Let me see. I'll give you an example. So 3,000.
Have a good one, Roy. Thank you for coming hang with us for a while. It's pretty late where Roy's at. He's over in the UK.
Thanks, Roy. Many blessings. So 2,500 notes is $30 off. He's got almost 15,000. So he's got some money there.
So you got a free bottle sitting there if you want it.
Dan, not the man. So do you have an order number, Dan? You said, can you sign my Bloom twice? What's your order number?
Don't tell your order number on the live stream, Dan, please.
Why? How would he know? What does
Yeah, but just in case people do stupid things.
With an order number?
Yeah. Just like tracking numbers and addresses. That's why I said don't say his whole email for Jared. No.
Then send me
email him, Dan. George@Zaharoff.com. Just like when I see people post a screenshot with their order number and tracking and stuff, I'm like, oh, all it takes is to have somebody that wants to screw you, you know?
So Russell, thank you for, thank you. Thanks. Russell has been a big supporter of Zaharoff. All of you guys have been. So Dan, if you want, George@Zaharoff.com, give me your order number.
Yeah. That'd be better, Dan. I'm looking out for you.
I'll sign whatever you want me to sign. So I think this is goodbye.
This is the end of our audio-visual portion of the George Zaharoff experience.
That includes the audio-visual portion of Rough Light. I'm sorry.
Jonathan's asking how to check his points.
John Madsen, let me see. You gotta. One moment, please. We should just do a customer service, Ross. Hold on. Oh my God, it's all this pressure. Hold on, let me see here.
You're under the gun.
I think people are just enjoying this, huh? Madsen, Madsen.
Mm-hmm.
So Jonathan Madsen, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the one with 777 in your email.
Yes, we've discussed things on email. I'm familiar with his email. It's that one.
So I don't know why it says no points. Did you use your points?
Did you create an account, or did you just make an order?
No, he's been here since November 10th. I got to go in here and see then what's going on here. Referrals, rewards.
That's what I'm saying. He created an account, though?
He created it back in, unless he's got another account. I'm trying to get on. Oh, let me see here. Rewards, no activity, rewards. You got a 10%. He got a 10% issued. So like when you sign up, you'll get an email with a code, with a gift card. You'll get a gift from Zaharoff if you go into your gift. So what you do is, welcome to Zaharoff gift. Anyway, Jonathan, reach out to me. It says a member for 2 minutes, like you just signed in or something. I see your orders here.
That's strange.
Very strange.
I was one of Zaharoff's first supporters, Alan Christian. Catch my whiff. Good to see you. Joel wants to cut your hair.
Why?
Joel, I don't know. Leave it to Joel.
I like the hair. I like my length.
Yeah, I think it's better with the longer hair. Yeah, I like the longer hair better.
All right. from the past. I just can't see the points. You have to go into the Zaharoff website. Let me show you guys. Zaharoff.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Nigerian giant Omas has arrived. Good to see you, Jordan.
Good to see you, Omas. So look, do you see right here?
Shout outs to all the other Homo sapiens.
Right there. Right there. It says First Class Lounge, the Z Lounge. Right there. So
right there where the airplane logo is.
Where the little airplane is. Because it fits, and then you see because it fits like the packaging of the stamp and all that. You see that? And then you punch in. You sign in. Already a part of the journey, sign in. So you click sign in. And you could either log in with your email. You forget the password right there, it'll take you right into your account, okay? Omas is the gentleman that you went to Florida with, right? You went to see Florida?
Yeah, that's we had quite the adventure doing we did some content in his hotel, but then we did some fragrance sniffing. We hit Nordstrom, Neiman's, Louis Vuitton. It was a good time. Did
Omas what's his handle name?
It's his actual name.
Okay.
Jordan Omagbihin. I never pronounce his last name correctly, but his name's Jordan. His actual name is Jordan. He's Mr. Smellgood on TikTok. He's doing some fragrance content on his TikTok page now.
Omagbihin.
I never pronounce it.
What country is he from?
Well, I'll give you a hint. His wrestling name is the Nigerian Giant.
He's from Ghana?
I don't know specifically where, but
Senegal?
Nigeria somewhere. I've never asked. Jordan, I've never asked. Please feel free to elaborate. He's laughing right now, I would assume.
Abuja, Nigeria is Abuja, and in the south, there's 2 cities.
It's funny that you say that. So he just says Nigeria.
Lagos, right? Lagos, Nigeria, and Abuja is the city.
So Taker does speak very highly of him. Taker's actually his mentor. Taker, that's Taker's guy, for sure.
Undertaker, is that you call him Taker? You said?
Yeah, everybody calls Undertaker Taker.
Taker. Yeah. That's a cool name, Undertaker, too.
Lagos. There you go.
Here you go. So let me tell you, you want to see a city, you got to go to Lagos. It's
that's the pride of Lagos right here in the chat.
What would you say, Omas, if I may call you Omas, or if you want Mr. Jordan? It's chaotic, but there's like this beauty to it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's so chaotic, but everyone is like, there's like a rhythm to it. It's beautiful, actually. Perfect chaos, I would say.
He's on the road right now. He's been on the road a lot lately. He's working some house shows.
No, it's okay, huh?
He's working house shows right now, and then I believe there's a pre-show match for Mania this weekend. Him, Otis, and I forgot who else. There's a big man, a meat man match, is us wrestling marks like to call it. All big dudes beating hell out of each other.
I have been to Lagos, and Russell, let me tell you, this is my joy. If I could help, I love serving my customer. It makes me so happy. So if I could enlighten, or if there's a coupon that they've earned that I could give, I love it. And so I know I've heard nothing but great things for Omas.
Hey, Jordan's a big teddy bear. Obviously, you don't want to piss him off. He would fuck you up. Don't anybody misconstrue that. That man gets mad. He will fuck somebody up. But he's a kind, gentle soul. He's a wonderful guy. Salt of the earth.
So if Omas was a Zaharoff fragrance, what fragrance would he be, Ross?
Well, he's not a big leather fragrance guy. Honestly, I think something like Royale X is a good spot for him to start. He likes the more dapper style fragrances.
I think
X is very dapper.
I wonder if Rosé would counterbalance his presence. You know, if it would silence. Okay, probably Royal X then, huh?
I would think X personally.
Clearly, he's from Madagascar. That's funny. I went to Madagascar, and I had flown in from Seychelles, Mauritius, Seychelles, Madagascar. It was many years ago.
You would like Black Rose, yeah, I think so too.
It was my first time in Africa. And so I get to Madagascar. I'm looking at the lemurs and I go, this is my first time in Africa. And she goes, oh, no. We separated from them 20 million years ago. We're not from Africa. That's my Madagascar memory from Madagascar. Africa is incredible. The whole continent's incredible.
So, guys, I'll give y'all a hint into his style. He's a big Zaharoff guy, first and foremost, but he loves dressing to the nines. That man loves his tailored suit and tie. Don't get me wrong, he likes rocking his J's and a hoodie and all that stuff. I've hung with him for that too, but he loves events and stuff. He loves to dress up and he likes matching the profiles to what he's wearing. He's a true frag head, and he likes the dapper styles. That's for sure. So anything you would find kind of gentlemanly and high quality, more than likely Jordan's going to like it. Now, not everything, but more than likely he will. Facts. See, I know my guy. I've learned his taste. So, George, you are froze. It's literally the screen froze. Not the most endearing look to where it froze for you either. And I lost him, apparently. Well, all right. Well, it's just me. I don't know if he's going to come back or not. Yeah, it froze on a like squinting eye kind of thing, but I'm still here. We'll shut it down here in a minute. I'll wait and see if George comes back and we'll close it out right. Almost finished that bootleg of Second Soul. Come on now, man. You're better than that. You're better than that. Welcome back, sir.
Well, I guess 10% means shut down immediately. So
yeah, like you were squinting. It froze on some weird face you were making, and here we are.
Yeah. So okay. So I guess this is good night. Goodbye.
So actually,
À tout à l'heure.
Mr. Goodman, would you like to? Let's see. This is interesting. That's a wonderful dapper fragrance. So he's very familiar with a lot of Penhaligon's fragrances. Jordan, or your second bottle of Second Soul. There you go. It's been a great stream. So Jordan, are you a fan of this one, Penhaligon's Lothair? Let me know in the comments. So George, you're bidding us adieu. Would you like to share any final words with everybody before you shut it down?
Be kind to your fellow man. Be kind. Be kind to yourself. We're only here one time, and it's a moment in time. And at the end of the day, think about this. We're on this ball, going the speed of light, going to nowhere, right? And so at the end of the day, it's all how you treat others and yourself. Much love.
Don't take off yet. We'll close it out together. Hang tight.
Okay.
And I appreciate everybody hanging out. Jordan, it was great to see you pop in. Dave, just a bunch of names I haven't seen in a while. It was great to see everybody show up. We had a real strong crowd for a while. We've still held in the mid 100s most of the stream. We were over 200 for a while. It was great to have you guys here. Thank you, everybody, for the super chats. On behalf of George, thank you, everybody, for the that's been ordering pre-sales and everything. For those of you that are skeptical, don't feel rushed. Wait, samples will come when the fragrance launches on the 15th. Don't feel pressured to blind buy, because you absolutely should not, unless you are certain that you want this. Then yeah, now's the cheapest you'll get it. It's cheaper than what my 10% discount will be after the 15th. So just wanted to relay that information one more time. Thank you, George, for coming and spend some time with us and taking some questions and sharing some more insight. It's always great to have you.
Maybe we'll come back on once we get because I have no bottles. You don't have a bottle. Maybe when we have a bottle of it in our hands, we could talk about it more.
Yeah, maybe next week.
But I want to, again, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the love and support you've shown to me, my art, to Zaharoff, to the endeavors with Ross and Justin. And I just thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't say it enough. Thank you. Thank you.
And on that note, we bid you adieu. Make sure to like this stream before you leave. Check out the video from today, some niche fragrances for spring. Rosé is featured in there.
Cheers, everybody. Thank you.
And I will see you guys tomorrow. For you members, we have the member stream tomorrow afternoon, and then I have a wrestling stream with my brother Dedrick Hicks Jr. tomorrow evening on the Sports Desk Live. So we will see you tomorrow, guys. Y'all have a good one.